As an older college student in a class of young people, I realized that if you decide to start a family, the thought of how you will feed your baby hasn't yet crossed your mind. If you knew breastfed children have at least 6 times greater chance of survival in the early months than non-breastfed children, then would you breastfeed your baby? Breastfeeding not only has numerous benefits, but also benefits the mother's health, which I'll describe later. It is only one of the reasons breast is best. In fact, UNICEF is working to support national governments in making the world a friendlier place for all mothers who wish to breastfeed. Hello, I am Leah. I breastfed my son, and I am here to explain why society should take action in being more supportive of breastfeeding mothers. According to the Surgeon General's call to action to support breastfeeding, there are many barriers to breastfeeding. Why is it still an issue, even with a variety of evidence that indicates breastfeeding reduces many different health risks? Unfortunately, too many new mothers are resorting to artificial feedings known as formula. The problem is that mothers are subjected to ridicule, a lack of knowledge, restricted maternity leave, and poor societal attitude toward public breastfeeding. Many women in the U.S. know breastfeeding is the best source of nutrition for most infants, but they are lacking knowledge about the specific benefits and don't know the risks for not breastfeeding. For example, a national survey found that only a quarter of U.S. public agreed that feeding a baby with infant formula instead of breast milk increases the chances a baby will get sick. Another reason for lack of knowledge is qualitative research with mothers has revealed that information about breastfeeding and infant formula is rarely provided by women's obstetricians during prenatal visits. Then, there are many people, including health professionals, believing that since formula has been enhanced, it is equivalent to breast milk in terms of its health benefits, but this belief is incorrect. Embarrassment is another issue. A study that analyzed data from a national public opinion survey done in 2001 found that only 43% of U.S. adults believe that women should have the right to breastfeed in public. Not only that, but in American culture, breasts are often perceived as sexual objects, while the nurturing function has been minimized. As shown in both quantitative and qualitative studies, this perception of breasts as sexual objects leads women to feel uncomfortable about breastfeeding in public. Also, if the mother is employed, it's a whole other set of obstacles to deal with. Mothers need so much more support with conquering all these overwhelming issues. Now that I've talked about the reasons there's a problem and the need for more support, I'm going to share a few ways society can and should address this issue. More people need to understand that breastfeeding is the natural way to feed a baby, and UNICEF shares many ways the healthcare community, employers, community leaders, and friends and family of mothers can and should provide much more support and encouragement. In healthcare, more hospitals can include the recommendation of UNICEF, WHO's Baby-Friendly Hospital Initiative. Require breastfeeding education for healthcare clinicians who care for women and children, and guarantee access to international board-certified lactation consultants. Employers should start and maintain high-quality lactation support programs for employees, allow mothers to breastfeed, and provide clean, private places, and implement paid maternity leave for employed mothers. Community leaders need to strengthen programs that provide mother-to-mother support and peer counseling, as well as use community organizations to promote and support breastfeeding. Families and friends should help encourage mothers to take advantage of these programs. When I was a new mother, I had a strong belief and conviction about the benefits of breastfeeding because of my familial culture. My sisters and I were breastfed babies, and the bond between us and our mother is incredibly strong. And I knew I wanted that with my son. Imagine how it feels to look at your baby boy or baby girl and know that it's the nourishment from your body that is keeping them strong, healthy, and happy. Being aware of the wonderful benefits of breastfeeding, I could not breastfeed. As mothers, we want the best for our child, and breast milk is a complex, living, nutritional fluid containing antibodies, enzymes, and long-chain fatty acids and hormones, many of which cannot be duplicated in formula. Our Creator gave women breasts for the purpose of nourishing our offspring. I personally know it's not easy to overcome the challenges and sometimes ridicule of breastfeeding, but maternal instinct carried me through. I also knew how breastfeeding contributed to my health by reducing the risk of type 2 diabetes and breast, uterine, and ovarian cancer, according to UNICEF. The more you know about breastfeeding, the more you realize it is nature's way of feeding your child. Breastfeeding truly is a one-of-a-kind experience for a mother and child. A strong support system is necessary for breastfeeding to be successful. If people truly understood the function of the breasts, I feel there would be greater support, less ridicule, and more acceptance. I also understand that the marketing of formula is a moneymaker, but more attention should be brought to positive messages like no cost and more images of women giving babies the breast in a respectful manner. This is an image of a breastfeeding mother. More exposure to mothers feeding their babies would help orient and familiarize people with what should be recognized as a natural interaction between mother and child.